And welcome to the capital city in Charleston tonight on the Hill. It's exciting girls high school basketball being presented here on Video Productions. It's the Lady Flying Eagles of Beckley with a record of 10-7, taking on the Lady Patriots of George Washington 11-5. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry. Eric Thomas alongside, as always. Sydney Mayo producing and directing here tonight. And Eric, we think we're going to be in for a heck of a game. It's Beckley, George Washington, round 2. The two teams played back in Beckley on January 24th, a game you and I called. Beckley won that game 59-54 or 55. I've seen the score both ways. I guess it doesn't really matter. Beckley won, but both teams enter this game winning 6 of their last 8.
Yeah, and both teams are considered state tournament teams, and this is going to be one of those games, Maris. It's going to come down to role players. You know what you're going to get out of your stars from each side, and it's going to be a hotly contested night.
It was a battle in Beckley, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, January the 24th, that Beckley won that game. So Beckley held serve at home. George Washington trying to hold serve at home here. And, Eric, we say this all the time, and it's so true on any level from the professional leagues to college down to high school. Every team has 2 personalities, one at home and one on the road. And obviously George Washington, a much better team at home than they are on the road.
Yeah, and it's just the comfort of being at home. Don't have to travel, Maris, and shots that probably did not fall in Beckley the night of the 24th of January will probably fall for GW tonight. So that's one advantage at being at home.
Of course, players to watch tonight, first of all, for the homestanding George Washington team, Finley Lowen. She's an outstanding player. In fact, when you and I got here about 5:30, she was putting up like 100 and some shots, and she literally, because they have this machine, and it rebounds for you. But not only does it rebound, it counts how many you shoot and how many you make. And she was shooting anywhere from the foul line to a three-point line, and she shot like 90 shots, and she made like 70 of them, and that's quite a feat. So she's one of the leaders. Also very impressed with Z. Zealous, just a sophomore who was outstanding for George Washington against Beckley the first time around.
Yeah, and her numbers were outstanding the first time around, and she's real dominant. Z. Zealous is real dominant down low, and she had 20 points in the game against Beckley, and Finley Lowen, of course, she was steady as usual. She had 18, and you know what you're going to get out of those 2 young ladies.
And, of course, for the flip side for Beckley, of course, Abby Dillon, the team's leading scorer, right at 18 a game. Josie Cross, a walking double-double, even in a tough loss on Saturday, losing to Cabell Midland by 3 points. Josie Cross, 16 rebounds, 16 points. Like I said, just a walking double-double. You know what you're going to get out of both of those girls.
Yeah, not only does she get double-doubles, she fills the stats. She gets you a couple blocks a game. Passes the ball real well out of the post. And Josie Cross is everything that's advertised. And you know what you get with her. You're going to get a tough, gritty game out of her, a player that's no-nonsense kind of player. Doesn't show much emotion, just goes out there and plays the game the way you should.
The one thing, Beckley's bench is going to be a little shorter, and that's because one of their starters, Maddie Belcher, who was sick and not able to make the trip. So Coach Brian Neighbors has been dealing with injuries and sickness and girls not available for one reason or another. So Keontae Thompson will now get the start, and that will change the way that Coach Neighbors will use his bench, because with Maddie Belcher starting, with her ability to knock down the 3, she can spread the floor, and Keontae Thompson's been a big spark off the bench. Now she's in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and what you lose with Maddie Belcher is a lot of leadership. A senior, plays steady. She was able to hit a big 3 and score another bucket for Beckley in the win at home against GW. So her presence will be missed tonight.
Yeah, because like I said, she can really spread the floor with her ability to knock down the 3. That changes, the defense a little bit. But both teams going through their warm-ups. Beckley right below us, George Washington to our right. We'll take our first Beckley Auto Mall pregame break as we'll get you ready for Beckley and George Washington coming up in about 10 or 12 minutes. You're watching exciting girls high school basketball streaming here on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 2723 Old Bluefield Road in Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Little General Stores has been serving West Virginia communities for almost 5 decades. That's nearly 50 years of providing those essential needs for your daily journey. We are so grateful to be a small part of your lives, and we want to recognize the integral part of our operation, the LG family. We know these last couple years haven't been easy, but with every sunrise and sunset, you keep us going. To the LG family, the moms, dads, sisters, brothers, sons, and daughters of West Virginia, thank you.
Hi, I'm Bo.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the guys to call for windows, siding, and doors.
You know why?
Sure I do. Because of Window World of Beckley, we install energy-efficient windows, siding, and doors to homeowners all throughout southern West Virginia.
We'll give you our promise. Superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price.
We make financing easy with our no interest for 18 months.
Don't wait. There's no better time like the present.
Call us at 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
And we welcome you back to George Washington High School with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. Sydney Mayo producing and directing tonight here in Charleston as both teams going through their warm-ups. And while we got a minute, we want to tell you about Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company, located in Sophia, West Virginia, is currently operating an underground coal mine and on-site preparation plant there in Sophia. Also a new surface mine in Waco, West Virginia. So if you're tired of driving an hour or longer, or even if it's a short drive and you're just not happy where you're working, Infinity Coal is hiring. Check them out on the Facebook page, United Coal Company, and that's how you can find out what positions are available at the fine folks of Infinity Coal. Well, Eric, the seedings on Beckley's half of the section came out this afternoon, and to neither of our surprises, Beckley is the number one seed of the section, Greenbrier East 2, Princeton 3, and Oak Hill 4, and that's exactly the way I think that's the way I thought. I'm sure you thought it was going to be that way as well.
And I think that's huge for any program. You want to get that number one seed and play win or lose in your friendly confines of your gymnasium.
And like we said in our last segment, every team has two personalities, one at home, one on the road. No question. Beckley, even though they lost to Cabell Midland at home Saturday, they're still much better at home than they are on the road.
Yeah, and that was a tough contest. But being at home, I think, gave Beckley that boost and that edge. They led that game for most of it except for the final score, and they can't hang their heads, after that loss. They battled a team that could contend for a state championship.
And Eric, for so many obvious reasons why it's important to get number one, but maybe the most important because when you play that first game of the section, Beckley and Oak Hill and Princeton will travel to Greenbrier East, that's an elimination game. So you can win that game and then you can lose the next game and you're still in it. So that's why getting that home court in that first round is so important.
Yeah, so important to get that, because if you can get that first game under your belt, to get to the championship game, you have two cracks at it regardless, and that's huge. And I think on the other side, I'm pretty sure George Washington will be the number one seed on the other side of the section.
I would agree. I would think so. That has not been determined yet. Coach Jamie LeMaster told me that they hope to know that here in the next day or two. And to me, and I just posed the question, I don't understand how one section could have the seed and the other section not seeded, but nothing surprises me anymore. But I would think so. On George Washington's side, I would think GW would be 1. I would think South Charleston would be 2. Riverside would be 3, and Capital, who I still don't think has won a game, would be 4.
Yeah, and I think that they were waiting on one more game. I think Capital and Riverside may play.
Perhaps.
And maybe see if Capital could squeak one out, maybe split, and that would just flip-flop those two seeds.
So, but if you're both of these teams, you want to finish the regular season strong. Like I said, both teams have won 6 of their last 8. That was a real gut-wrenching loss for Beckley Saturday afternoon. And you and I are on the way down here this evening to discuss. The main thing is if you're Beckley, you don't want to let Cabell Midland beat you twice.
Yeah, and if you're Beckley, you don't want Cabell Midland beating you twice. And I had a chance to listen to Coach LeMaster talk with Coach Neighbors, and you don't want this out of George Washington. They play the number one team in the state, Wheeling Park, Friday night. So you don't want to look past this Beckley team either, and let a future game hinder you at home tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure GW wants to revenge the loss in Beckley. I'm sure that they won't look past Beckley. And, whenever it's been Beckley and George Washington, whether it's girls, which we have tonight, and even the boys, they've played some classic games. And I was here not too long ago when the boys played George Washington, and after George Washington had beaten Beckley by 18 in Beckley had the ball down 1 in the final seconds with a chance to beat George Washington here, and they didn't get it done. But I guess where I'm going with that I'm going to expect battles anytime Beckley and George Washington, whether it's boys or girls on the hardwood.
Yeah, this has turned into a real rivalry in both girls sports and boys sports, and it's good, healthy rivalry. They seem to bring out the best in one another when they play.
Yeah, and as you know, we take a look at Beckley's schedule. By the way, senior night is up on Thursday night, and we'll have that game. So Beckley will have one more home game before they finish the regular season on the road. Beckley will have Bluefield at home on Thursday night. That's a 7:30 tip, and we'll be on at 7 o'clock. We are going to do the senior presentation on Thursday night, and then Beckley will finish up the final 3 regular season games, Eric, on the road. It'll be at Riverside on Saturday, February 11th, then on the 15th at Oak Hill, the team they're going to play in the postseason, and then Beckley will wind out the final game of the regular season at Pikeview on Friday the 17th.
Yeah, and those games, even with the seeding, Maris, you want to finish the season strong and playing your best basketball, and that's what both of these programs look to do.
Well, as I look at Beckley's schedule right now at 10-7, if they can get this tonight, they would be favored in the next 4. You think if they can win tonight, they should be able to win out and come into the postseason playing their best basketball?
Yeah, you would think so, and that's why both of these teams you need to get a victory when you can late. It's early in February, but it's getting late as far as tournament time, and now is the right time to have your team peaking.
And on the flip side for George Washington, not just playing Beckley tonight, they do have a game coming up with Nicholas County, but then as you mentioned, Eric, later in the week, they've got Wheeling Park, and then they've come back home and played Spring Valley. So, you're talking about Beckley, Wheeling Park, and Spring Valley, 3 of their next 4 games.
Yeah, and that's the cream of the crop right there when you get to Spring Valley and Wheeling Park and the Morgantowns. But these teams, both teams, Beckley and George Washington, I think have a lot to offer and a chance to beat anybody on any given night with the players that they have.
Well, that's for sure. George Washington's still out warming up. Beckley's went to the locker room. We'll go ahead and take our second Beckley Auto Mall pregame break. We'll get you ready. We're about 5 or 6 minutes away from tipping the game as you're watching live streaming coverage of girls basketball here on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 2723 Old Bluefield Road in Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment Champion Mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
Unlock the money already in your home at City National Bank. Consolidate loans or fund your next big project with a home equity line of credit with a great low intro rate. Visit your local branch to get started. City National Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Learn more at homeequity.bankatcity.com.
We welcome you back to George Washington. We'd like to tell you about Indoor Air. Indoor Air is a proud sponsor of Raleigh County High School sports. For all your heating and cooling needs, you can dial up the good folks at Indoor Air at 304-890-2212. Indoor Air, you're a man, a dealer. Well, Eric, if you're in the locker room as Coach Neighbors is with his squad right now, what do you think Coach Neighbors is telling his team?
Well, on the road, Maris, you have to do one thing, I think, early on in the game, and that's take care of the basketball. You can't have a lot of turnovers and, give the ball away in extra possessions to a good shooting team in George Washington.
And that's one of the things that hurt Beckley coming down the stretch Saturday. They turned the ball over too much, and I agree. On the road, you got to make sure that you match the intensity of the home team and get off to a good start.
Yeah, because turnovers, not only demoralizes you, but it energizes the other team if they're able to turn you over and turn, their defense into offense. And I think that's the one key early on for the Beckley Lady Flying Eagles.
And if you're Coach LeMasters at George Washington, what do you think you're telling your troops there?
Hey, I think you need to get your two-man game going. I think, you're going to get Finley low, and she's going to really knock down shots, but I think you have to keep Z Ellis involved and get her going down low and stay out of foul trouble.
Both teams back on the floor. We're about a minute and a half away from having the starting lineups in the national anthem. We'll go ahead and take our final Beckley Auto Mall pregame break and come back. We're about a minute and a half or so from getting the ball game started as you're watching exciting girls high school basketball streaming on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall with 3 locations for your convenience. 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 2723 Old Bluefield Road in Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Sandwiches, better with Pepsi.
Motley's Plumbing and Heating of Beckley, West Virginia is now hiring journeyman or master plumbers. You must have a West Virginia plumbing license and a valid driver's license. All interested parties may apply at Motley's Plumbing and Heating at 101 First Street, Beckley, West Virginia. Or interested applicants can call 304-253-HELP. Once again, you may apply in person at Motley's Plumbing and Heating, 101 First Street, Beckley, West Virginia. Motley's Plumbing and Heating is an equal opportunity employer.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
State flag, Cadet Master Sergeant Emma Atkins. Nation's flag, Cadet Staff Sergeant Brianna Young.
Before you had the playing of the national anthem, before we get into the starting lineups, I want to tell you about Leisure Lanes coming up this Saturday. It'll be Sweetheart Futuristic Bowling. So it's a great place to take your sweetheart. Even Eric, you can take your lovely wife, Regina, your sweetheart. You can take her to Futuristic Bowling. They still have lanes available, and you can call 304-253-7328 to reserve your lane. And it goes from 10 p.m. to midnight, the fine folks at Leisure Lanes.
Yeah, and that's a fun time. We had a chance to do it on New Year's Eve, and it's a good family atmosphere.
So for Beckley, Coach Brian Neighbors, the Lady Flying Eagles, as we mentioned in an earlier segment, they won 6 of their last 8. They are coming off a 3-point loss at home to Campbell Midland on Saturday afternoon. They're 10-7, and they'll go with Creasy, Cross, Dillon, Burton, and Thompson. As we mentioned earlier, Maddie Belcher is not available tonight. She's sick, did not make the trip. So, Maddie, if you're watching, we're giving you a nice shout-out, and we hope that you get well and back in action on Thursday night. On the flip side, Eric, for George Washington, for Coach LeMasters, they'll go the same way. It'll be Fraser, Lowen, Smith, Mallory, and Zealous. And we think we're in for a great game. Beckley 10-7, George Washington 11-5. Both teams winners of 6 of their last 8. Beckley won round 1, 59-54 at Beckley. We'll see what unfolds here tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. 2 evenly matched teams, I think, and equally well coached, and it's just going to be a good high school girls basketball game.
Yes, and these 2 teams could see each other on down the road, whether it would be in a region co-final or whether it be in the state tournament. That is very, very possible. So we'll see how things unfold here tonight. Beckley will be wearing their traveling gray uniforms trimmed in maroon and white. George Washington wearing the white uniforms. And the thing about it, Eric, and I think you're going to agree with me, that white numbers on white uniforms are very hard to see.
Very, very hard to see.
I mean, I got 20/20 vision, but white on white, they should have at least been maroon or outlined in maroon, but their numbers are actually white on white.
Yeah, that's very tough, and it's equally tough, though, when it's football, but I think we'll have a better chance of us seeing the numbers here.
So it'll be Josie Cross in the center circle for Beckley. She'll jump against Z Zealous, and we're ready to put the ball in the air and get the game underway. There was not a JV game. Beckley really out of players with all the injuries that they've had as Beckley controls the tip. Creasy off to the races and can't finish. Shoots a layup a little too strong, and back the other way comes George Washington. So that's a chance, Eric. You get a layup like that, you really got to cash that in.
Yeah, now and just like that, it turns to the offense for GW as they miss the wide open shot. But you're right, you need to capitalize on getting, the early momentum by getting that bucket.
So Mallory misses on the other end for George Washington, and now Beckley on the attack. Cross on the drive. Nice stop, turn around, and in and out, heartbreak. That was a good move, and the ball went halfway in and popped back out on Josie Cross.
Yeah, 2 good open looks to start the game for Beckley as Mallory, another knockdown 3.
Well, Mallory said, you left me open once. I didn't make it. Leave me open again, and I'm going to drain it, and she does. So Beckley with 2 golden opportunities and have not been able to cash in yet. Their third possession here on the offensive end of the floor. Josie Cross with a nice drive. They cut her off. And Creasy lost it, held ball, and the possession arrow will be in George Washington's favor. So 2 point-blank misses and a turnover as we watch the 3 ball right there. Dialing it up. Kaboom! A splashdown from Macy Mallory.
And that was just deep. Nothing you can do defensively right there with just a wide-open look and knocking it down.
And we got a foul. I think they're going to get Burton on the reach-in as they got the ball to Mallory again.
Yeah, and this is one thing that Danya has to stay away from, with Maddie Belcher being out and they're a little short on the bench. You can't pick up the early touch fouls such as that.
So it'll be side out for GW. Not a lot of room on the side, by the way. If you're just watching for the first time of the game here, you can see that there's not a lot of room. Is Lowen all the way to the basket, and she can't finish. She got a good take all the way to the rim.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, she'll make that shot. And it's just one of those things where she didn't get to bounce.
So here's Abby Dillon, and Beckley turns it over.
So that's four turnovers and 4 3.
It's 2 turnovers and 2 missed shots.
Yes.
Yes, I knew that's what you meant.
Well, it's actually 3 turnovers. and 2 missed shots. They've had 5
Yes,
possessions.
5 possessions. You are correct. So we're 2 minutes into the game. Beckley yet to score, but Beckley gets a turnover. Thompson on the move. Tacks the basket. And she throws the ball a little too high for Burton. Ball's down on the floor. Beckley with numbers here now. Creasy an open 3. Got it. A splashdown by Creasy to tie the game.
And both teams playing with a lot of energy, both diving for the loose balls, and that's what you want out of your team, early in February, getting ready for the tournament.
Nice drive and a finish and one by Z Zealous. She got it at the head of the lane and took it off the dribble, got to the basket, got the hoop and the harm, and now we'll try to polish off a 3-point play as we watch that last splash down by Creasy.
Yeah, and I think if you're Josie, right here is what you have to do against Z Zealous. I'm going to play, if she catches it at the key, you're going to have to lay off of her just a tad and play her, make her shoot a shot, a jump shot.
So George Washington was Zealous able to get the 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Beckley on the attack now. And Burton trying to get the ball inside the cross. It's kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Beckley. Beckley 10-7, George Washington 11-5. Both teams winners of 6 of their last 8. Beckley won the first matchup by 5 points, and Beckley turns it over. And, Eric, in any game, especially these big games, you can't have that kind of turnover.
Yeah, that's just that's tough. You have to possess the basketball, and the one thing I gave as my key to trying to win this game or staying in the first half is not turn the ball over, and they haven't paid attention to me.
Yeah, because that's what hurt them down the stretch. If Saturday's game is Lowen gets it inside and they double team her, Smith, that's her spot. That's in and out, heartbreak, but Lowen able to keep it alive. Zealous inside, and it's an offensive foul. They're going to say Zealous used an elbow clearing out, and that'll go as an offensive foul.
And that will be her first and the team's first as we look right here.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
She cleared out.
Yep.
And, Eric, you made a good point on Saturday that without not having the circle, a charge, you can get it anywhere on the floor. And even though the Beckley defender was deep under their basket, you could still call a charge.
Yeah, and that's a big play as both Josie and Zealous as little steps right there for Josie. But Josie Cross and Z Zealous, the two post players, both have a foul each.
Yeah, Josie Cross with that bunny hop in the pea patch that time, and I think she realized what she did after she did it, and Beckley turns it over again. But that's the one thing that has held this Beckley team back is there's a nice finish by Lowen left of the lane.
And I already see what Coach Jamie LeMaster is doing a little different from the first. On the switch, they're pinning the guards with Lowen's size and another turnover by Beckley.
Yeah, and that's what the comment I was making. That's what's held the Beckley team back, all these turnovers. And, it comes down to your opponent is going to get a lot more shots than you're going to get as we have a timeout. Let's see if we have a full or a 30. We have a 30-second timeout. While we got a minute, we will tell you about the fine folks at All Truist Realty, which is David and Cindy Chin. Video Productions would like to thank our online streaming sponsor, David and Cindy Chin of All Truist Realty. David and Cindy work 24/7 to meet your scheduling needs. So whether you're buying or selling a home, David and Cindy Chin, they can help guide you through sometimes what is a difficult process. But right now, Eric, I give credit to George Washington, but really most of these turnovers for Beckley have really been on their own, unforced errors, and GW on a mini 5-0 run.
Yeah, and all of them were predicated on Beckley being real careless with the basketball early. And you can't have that anytime, but especially on the road against a quality opponent. You don't want to dig yourself a big hole in the first quarter.
That's right. So Beckley's going to extend the pressure. Yeah, you don't want to get so far behind that you got to expend a lot of energy trying to come back. So George Washington, they break the pressure. They're trying to get the ball to Z Zealous inside.
Yeah, she's just going to be a tough matchup for Beckley. She has size and she has agility. So on the switch, they're going to get it to her.
And that was a good job by Beckley, able to defend it. Even though George Washington will keep the possession, Beckley did a good job switching up.
Weak side help came over from Keontae Thompson, and she did a good job because it's going to take two players down in the post to stick with Z.
And Lowen with the left hand scores.
And Finley Lowen picks her 4th point up, and GW is rolling right now offensively.
Yeah, 7-0 GW run. Keontae Thompson to the basket, and she'll draw the foul. And that's a nice, good take to the basket.
And that's a good take, and that's a big foul. And that's going to be 2 on Zealous, and that's going to get her, some bench time here in the first quarter, because they have 2 team fouls, and they both are on Zealous.
So here's Keontae Thompson at the free throw line, and she makes it, and that will stop a little bit of the bleeding for now. That breaks a 7-0 run, and as you say that, Eric, it'll be Beckley getting to their bench, as George Washington does also. George Washington will dip into its bench. It'll be Harmon checking into the ball game for GW, and Leilani Mans for Beckley.
And at the 3:29 mark of the first quarter, this is a big turn of events if you're Beckley, because it puts a lot more pressure on, I think, Lowen to be more dangerous offensively.
Yeah, maybe to carry the load. Yes. So Thompson made both free throws. Here's Smith for 3. That's a little strong, and Thompson clears the rebound for Beckley. The outlet passes to Abby Dillon. They cut Abby Dillon off, so she'll reset the offense. Yeah, the one thing is they are not going to let Abby Dillon attack the basket. They're cutting her off as the ball is slapped into the backcourt, so Abby Dillon can go back and pick it up.
Yeah, you have numbers here.
Creasy to the rim, and she couldn't finish. Smith with the rebound for George Washington. Lowen on the trail for 3, short, and Leilani Mans with the rebound. And what do we got? We're going to have a travel on Creasy.
And another Beckley turnover when you got a good defensive stop, secured the rebound, and turned it over, in the open court.
Yeah, we don't keep rebounds, but I'm guessing Beckley's got at least 8 turnovers in this first quarter, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, we don't keep them, and I'd be running out of ink in this first quarter if I did.
There's a 3 dialed up by Macy Mallory.
Our second long ball of the first quarter.
Biggest lead of the game right here at 8. Leilani Mans, great low post position, and able to kiss it off the window. Beckley extending the pressure. George Washington well executed to get a layup on the other end.
That's Peyton Atkins for 2.
Yeah. Once again, I was trying to see who it was because of that white numbers on white uniforms. We got a held ball. The possession error keeps it with Beckley.
That's why I helped you out right there.
I appreciate that. The Tasmanian Devil, as she's known to her teammates, Maya Wooten, as we watched that last replay. That was great execution.
Just great ball movement, yes. And let's see what Maya Wooten brings a lot of energy right here defensively. So with that pressure, if they can get a make here, look for them to look a lot different with pressure in the basketball.
Kander Frazier into the George Washington lineup. Here's Maya Wooten with it now. She kind of stumbled through the lane there.
Yeah, but like right off the bench, though, she comes up with one of those 50-50 balls.
A deep 3 by Abby Dillon, and she rings the bell from downtown. That was a nice shot by Abby Dillon. She was a good 2 or 3 feet behind the three-point line when she knocked that one down.
You see the pressure is a lot different with Wooten on the floor. She just can cover so much ground, and the spacing, you have to have great spacing if you're GW.
Here's Atkins from the corner of 3, not there, and Leilani Mans with the rebound. Wooten to Dillon. She thought about the 3. She gets into the lane. Ball's knocked away right to Maya Wooten. Little floater. Doesn't get the bounce. And here comes George Washington. One of the things you're Beckley, you want to get the ball out of the hands of Lowen. Here's a 3 from the far corner. It's not good, and the rebound is Leilani Mans. So Mans with a couple rebounds and a hoops, and she was inserted to the lineup as Maya Wooten puts up the short shot. She thought she was fouled, no whistle, and back the other way comes GW.
Yeah, but I like Maya's aggressiveness to be on the floor and play great defense, and just with her scoring a little more, that just adds to her game.
But one thing, as you mentioned, Eric, and so right, with Z Zealous not on the floor, George Washington's a different team offensively.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You don't have that post presence.
And I'm surprised they didn't call a foul on Keontae Thompson. She got there a little late. There was a lot of contact there, and they easily could have called a foul.
Yeah, I think this is a good play on
There's
Let's see that deep three
that's what I'm
by
saying.
Abby.
Yeah, she was a good 2-3 feet behind the three-point line when Abby Dillon rings the bell for the three ball.
Well, there have been four threes made in this game, and all of them been from deep.
So it'll be last shot time for the first quarter. Here's George Washington Lowen with it. Mallory trying to hit her third three, and she does! Right ahead of the first quarter buzzer. At the end of one, your score is George Washington 18, Beckley 10. We'll be right back. You're watching exciting girls high school basketball streaming on Video Productions.
Here at the Cracker Barrel, home-style food and great value go hand in hand, with favorites like slow-simmered chicken and dumplings starting at $7.99, or perfectly golden fluffy buttermilk pancakes with your own bottle of warm syrup. Come fill up on favorites without emptying your wallet. Cracker Barrel. Take care now.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken. Literally, the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you funny. And we welcome you back to George Washington High School with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry, Sydney Mayo. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, Sydney Mayo makes Eric and I sound good and look good. I promise you that. She's doing a wonderful job, and we appreciate it. So, Eric, we go to the second quarter. This equals the largest lead of the game at 8, and George Washington will start quarter number 2 with the first possession.
And they'll start with Z Zealous back on the floor with 2 fouls. So let's see how this plays out.
And here's a drive to the basket. Smith, and she lost it out of bounds.
Nice backdoor cut, just not able to possess the basketball.
And, Eric, on that last possession, I don't know if Beckley intended it, but they had a much smaller girl than Maya Wooten was guarding Zealous on that first possession of the second quarter.
Yeah.
That's a tough matchup for Maya Wooten.
That's going to be a tough matchup,
yeah.
But what you get is Maya's tenacity in fronting and just make it a tough pass into her. Don't let her.
See, they back off Maya Wooten. They give her that shot. And that's not really Maya Wooten's strength to shoot the three ball. Is she makes things happen off the dribble on the drive. As here's Creasy with it.
I think they're going to have to give a look to Josie as she had Mallory pinned that last possession. And Z Zealous make her presence known right now. Oh, that wasn't Z.
Smith.
Excuse me, Smith.
Yeah, but they turn Beckley over again. And now Beckley, can they get the turnover? As they go crashing to the floor, and the ball will go over to Beckley.
Well, the refs are really letting them play. A lot of contact and people playing.
Yeah, and, if they I like it. If they're going to let contact on one end, they let it on the other. The referees have done a good job. But Beckley right now, and I agree with you, Eric, they just haven't had a low post presence, and George Washington is packing it in that zone, trying to make Beckley totally perimeter, and up to now they've been able to do that. Abby Dillon on the drive. They cut her off. Dillon with a mid-range floater goes. Nice little floater right of the lane by Abby Dillon. GW back the other way. Lowen off the dribble. Here's Mallory. It's short. Macy Mallory. She had 1-3 in the first meeting. Now there's a foul. That time a little too much contact. They couldn't let that contact go. But, Eric, you had mentioned to me in the break that Macy Mallory made 1 3 ball as we watched that last little floater by Abby Dillon. 1 3 ball in the game at Beckley, and she's already made 3 here in this game.
Yeah, and that's the friendly confines of being at home. She not only did she just make 1, she made 1 late in the fourth quarter in the game in Beckley.
And that's what we talk about, Eric, as you say, we talked about in the pregame, 2 personalities, 1 at home, 1 on the road, much more comfortable shooting in your own gym.
Yeah, exactly right, and that's just one thing you have. You got to play through. And that was a good, smart play by Maya Wooten, knocking the ball. She was going to be trapped and learning to gain possession right there. And that's because she was going to be double-teamed and probably turn it over.
So Keontae Thompson will be in, and Abby Dillon will have a seat. Creasy on the drive, a floater, and it's swatted away. GW said, get that out of here, but Beckley able to maintain possession. Keontae Thompson to the basket. Little short shot. Needs a roll. Doesn't get it. And Zealous comes out of there with the rebound. Here's Smith. Josie Cross will get Zealous. And now Smith will dial it up from distance and hit. That's a great two-man game right there. And the largest lead of the game is right here at 9.
And that's 4 3 balls for GW on the evening.
Maya Wooten had it, lost it, got it back, and she's fouled. And that's what we call, as we say all the time, as we watch that last two-man game and the 3-ball by Smith, that's incidental, accidental contact right there, but nevertheless a foul. It'll be Beckley's ball side out.
And that's going to be whistled on Macy Mallory.
And she'll have a seat.
And that will be her first.
And Peyton Atkins into the ball game before George Washington. She's got a 3-ball tonight.
Yes, she does.
So here's Beckley.
No, she made a 2.
A 2, I beg your pardon. Beckley looking over the zone. And that's one thing, we have said this, and we said it on Saturday, over the course of the season, at times the zone has really given this Beckley girls team fits.
Yeah, it really has, and it's just one of those things. You have to be aggressive and attack the creases and shoot your way out of it, but good shots.
Thompson finds Burton. Creasy is stripped. Good George Washington defense. And right now, George Washington's been really good on both ends of the floor. Lowen to the foul line. They cut her off. Good defense by Josie Cross on the denying that entry pass.
Yeah, that was great defense. Way to run the court, too.
And she gets it back, but misses the short shot, and they'll get Burton over the back.
And that's going to be Burton's second foul and the team's third. So now she'll have to come off the court, and right now Burton is struggling from the field, playing some good defense as she was the team's leader in scoring in the last game against GW.
So Leilani Mans checks back in, so does Abby Dillon. So Beckley going with a little smaller lineup with Creasy, Dillon, and Thompson on the floor right now. Coming up on the halfway point of the second quarter.
Playing some zone here as well.
And they try to go across the court, and Dillon with the steal to Creasy. And she draws a foul. That's a good play by both teams because you have your defense, Eric, to lead the offense. But if you're GW, as we watch the replay, you can't give up the easy layup. You got a good hard foul and make Creasy earn it from the line.
Yeah, and that was going to be whistled on Peyton Atkins. And as you stated, you can't be mad at that. You have to make them get to the free throw line and earn it. And that turns into a good foul. A good foul, excuse me.
Yeah, because she missed it. And if she misses this, it'll be a great foul. But Beckley tonight, and I think you would agree, Eric, from the floor and they've had some good looks, just not able to put the ball in the basket.
And it's one of those things, not making shots and you turning it over, that's a recipe for a loss. And that turned into a great foul as Creasy comes up empty.
Yep, she missed both of them. So GW back the other way. Smith, that's her spot on the floor. Not that time, but Zealous with an offensive rebound and a strong putback. And she'll draw a foul on Josie Cross. That's her second.
Yes.
And Zealous will get to the line to shoot a pair.
And that's big. And Josie does a good job of contesting shots. But this is a matchup of two I call premier post players for both teams. And they're really, really battling right now.
So Zealous's free throw doesn't go. She'll shoot the back end of this two-shot opportunity. The biggest lead of the game is here at 9. She can take it to a 10-point lead and will give GW their largest lead of the game if she can hit it, and she does. So it's a 10-point advantage, biggest lead of the game, and Beckley will dip into its bench, and Taylor Gunther will check into the Beckley lineup as Josie Cross has to come out with 2 fouls. And, with the way the zone is, here's where you really miss Maddie Belcher.
Is that score right?
It's 22-12. That is correct.
It had 23 up there.
Yeah, it's 22. But anyway, what I was saying is where you miss Maddie Belcher because as Dillon dials up a 3 and doesn't get nothing but air on that one, but where you need shooters that could maybe loosen up the zone or spread them out a little bit so you have driving lanes.
Yeah, and that's the spacing has been not as well for Beckley, and hey, hats off to GW. Their game plan has been executed well as a skip pass and the open three. All their threes have been open looks.
And here's the thing, if Beckley's is to get back in at down 10, and they're not really, 10 is a marginal amount to make up as Dillon dials up a three, and it doesn't go. But Gunther with the offensive rebound, and the putback is not there. Battle for the rebound. But Beckley's going to have to get it done on the defensive end of the floor because they've missed a lot of shots here tonight. Here's a three. Good! A three ball, and Beckley calls a timeout as Peyton Atkins dials it up from distance, the biggest lead of the game right here. And this is going to be a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're watching girls high school basketball streaming here on Video Productions.
My name is Skyler with United Cycles Summersville and Beckley, which is located right across the street from Hobby Lobby. We just want to let you know we have some cashback rebates, some up to $2,000 for our side-by-sides that go all the way through the end of March. Those are for Polaris, Kawasaki, Honda, and Suzuki. Please give us a call at 304-252-9775, and for the Summersville location, 304-872-6626.
Every year, the big banks raise their fees while reducing the services they provide. How do they get away with that? If you were to join Pioneer Community Bank, your money would stay right here, supporting a local business which results in lower fees and better customer service for you. Sounds like a plan. So you're not really stuck with the big banks and their policies. Keep your money where it belongs, right here with Pioneer Community Bank. Pioneer Community Bank with locations in Beckley, Yeager, Sophia, Moore, and Welch. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to George Washington. Eric, something we talked about in the pregame on the road. You got to get off to a good start, and Beckley was 8 down at the end of the quarter, and now they're in the biggest hole, and they've only scored 2 points here in this second quarter.
And let me give you another stat as Beckley is trying to get going offensively.
Thompson with a drive, can't get it to go. There's a foul on the rebound. It's on George Washington.
I think that's going to be whistled on Michaela Harmon.
And I think you are correct. Or no, they called on Mallory.
Well, that'll be her second. That's a big one.
Thompson from distance and rolls around, couldn't get it to go. Beckley has just missed some tough shots.
So the stat I was going to give you as GW is really getting it out of the net. And
Mallory dials it up, and Beckley in a huge hole now, down 28-12. Biggest lead of the game right here.
I think that was Lowen, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lowen.
I said Mallory. You're right. You are correct.
And that's her first tray of the game.
And I saw her mom here tonight, and as long as I get her girl's name right, which I did, but I didn't even have it right, as there's a Creasy hitting the shot.
And that breaks the drought for Beckley.
So Beckley, GW right now has doubled them up.
So this is the stat I'm going to give as Beckley turns them over. In the first contest, Mallory and Atkins combined for 3 points. They have combined to score 14 points, which is as many as Beckley has in the game until that three by Creasy.
Creasy back-to-back buckets, a 2 and now a 3 to try to cut into the lead. But like I said, Eric, if Beckley's to get in it, this is the end of the floor where they've got to really dig down. They got to get stops.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've gotten a couple stops, but these are contested shots, and they got to do something with it once they get stops.
There's Mallory Macy misses. Here's a drive to the basket by Abby Dillon. Back iron. Nice offensive putback in a bucket by Leilani Mans.
Great rebound. Great running of the floor right there by Mans to secure the offensive rebound.
A 7-0 Beckley run as we play the final minute of the first half. It's a big possession. As Harmon has the ball knocked out of bounds, it'll stay with George Washington. As we watch that last play, the 3-ball there. Actually, that was the play before last.
Yeah, Creasy did a good job of securing that and shooting with confidence. And I say that a lot during our broadcast, but most of the time when you make shots, you're confident that it's going to go in.
That's really good defense by Creasy to overplay and knock that ball out of bounds.
Well, you just get the feel of the small gymnasium. It's like Hoosiers is in there. It's like the crowd's right up on the
top
end
of
line.
you.
The coaches are standing on the court when they're coaching.
Yeah, and Beckley turns them over with the steal.
This could be an and one right
Keontae
here.
Thompson, they cut her off. She finds Abby Dillon. Dillon a little floater into the lane, back iron, and here comes George Washington out of there with it. Here's Smith, and she misses the layup. but she gets her own rebound, and she'll back out and shoot it for three, and Gunther gets the rebound. Let's see if Beckley will hold it for the final shot of the half. Dillon spots up, three, in and out, heartbreak. George Washington, the final 15 seconds of the first half. 15-footer, low, it's an air ball, and Beckley will get an opportunity, Eric, to take the final shot of the half.
Yeah, and the frenetic pace right there, and I think that's what Beckley wants to do to get it going up and down. And if you're Beckley, if you can get a bucket here, you're going to be fortunate to be in single digits on this.
Creasy from 15, not there. Gunther with an offensive rebound, the putback, too strong, and that's how the first half will come to an end. As Beckley will close out the first half on a 7-0 run to get them back into the game somewhat, but at the break, George Washington's in front, 28-19. We'll take a minute break, come back and get you ready for the Massey Power Sports Halftime Show as you're watching exciting girls basketball streaming here on Video Productions.
Know that seasons changed, but here at Window World, we work every season. We have good news. Window World can replace those old drafty windows with new energy-efficient windows, and that will save you on those high energy bills. Window World also has entry doors made with unsurpassed quality, plus our easy financing with our no interest for 18 months. Visit our showroom or call us for that free estimate at 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
And we welcome you back to George Washington High School at the break. The Lady Patriots lead the Lady Flying Eagles 28-19. George Washington led 18-10 at the end of the quarter. They opened up their biggest lead at 28-12, but Beckley scored the last 7 points of the half to get the score to 28-19, what it is now. Before we take our first halftime break, I want to tell you about Infinity Co. Infinity Co. located in Sophia, West Virginia. For the ones who don't know where that's at, that's near Beckley and out near Independence High School. Infinity Co. is currently they are operating an underground coal mine with an on-site preparation plant in Sophia, and they also have a new surface mine in Waco, West Virginia. So if you're tired of making a long drive to work, or even if it's a short drive and you're just tired of whatever you're doing and you want to look for a new job, Infinity Coal is hiring, and you can go to their Facebook page under United Coal Company and find out what jobs are available and what you can apply for. Also at this time, we want to thank one of our streaming sponsors, Indoor Air. Indoor Air is a proud sponsor of Raleigh County High School sports. Indoor Air, for all your heating and cooling needs, you can dial them up at 304-890-2212. You're a man, a dealer. Here at halftime, it's 28-19 in favor of George Washington. We're going to take a break. When we come back here on the Massey Power Sports Halftime Show, Eric will have some of the numbers from this first half as you're watching live streaming coverage of girls high school basketball on Video Productions.
Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Sandwiches, better with Pepsi.
Here at the Cracker Barrel, home-style food and great value go hand in hand, with favorites like slow-simmered chicken and dumplings starting at $7.99, or perfectly golden fluffy buttermilk pancakes with your own bottle of warm syrup. Come fill up on favorites without emptying your wallet. Cracker Barrel. Take care now.
Dad, what is a backflow prevention device?
Well, it's a device that's used to protect water supplies from contamination or pollution in homes or businesses.
Is that why you were talking to that man?
Well, he was a certified plumber from Modley's Plumbing and Heating. Modley's is fully licensed and insured in testing, installation, and service of backflow prevention devices. I just call 304-253-HELP, and they'll take care of it the right way.
I thought it was something for the car, so Mom wouldn't hit the house again when she was backing up.
Unlock the money already in your home at City National Bank. Consolidate loans or fund your next big project with a home equity line of credit with a great low intro rate. Visit your local branch to get started. City National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at homeequity.bankatscity.com.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
Welcome back to George Washington High School here at the Massey Power Sports Halftime Show. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas and Sydney Mayo producing and directing. Beckley down at the break, Eric, 28-19. Beckley has never led in this game. They were tied at 3. George Washington led 18-10 at the first quarter. GW's biggest lead was 28-12 before Beckley went on a 7-0 run to close the half, and Beckley now down 28-19 at the break. But, Eric, you have some of the numbers of the first half.
Yeah, and the numbers indicate the really good shooting from GW. And Maris, as we touched on in the opening, that I thought the bench would be the difference for the game. You knew what you were going to get out of the big guns. Well, Finley Lowen, she has 7 points, and you would think that's a good defensive effort against her. But what she's been able to do is facilitate the basketball, and they've knocked down 6 3-pointers in the first half alone. And Macy Mallory leads the way with 9 points, and she only scored 3 points in the first game. And Peyton Atkins off the bench has knocked down a 3-ball, and she has 5 points. And leading the way for Beckley is Latasia Creasy, who's played a good floor game. She's made 2 threes and a layup. She's 0 for 2 at the free throw line, so she would be in double figures, but she leads the way with 8 points, and Abby Dillon with 5. And the big thing that I've noticed in the first half, and I'm going to circle, is Josie Krause has more fouls than she does shot attempts.
And that's got to change.
Or even 2 shot attempts, 2 fouls.
And here's the thing, Eric, I think you'll agree. Out of George Washington's 28 points, 18 have come from behind the line and behind the 3 line, not the foul line, of course. So you're thinking you wouldn't think maybe that kind of shooting would continue in the second half.
Yeah, and if you're Beckley, that's what you can hang your hat on, that they won't knock down as many. And a lot of them were open looks. So you're going to have to shore up that defense. If you're Beckley, but you can't think that they're going to shoot that hot, make 6 more threes in the second half, you're doomed. So defensively, if you can get out on shooters, you might be able to crawl back into this game.
Well, as I stated, Beckley, to get back in the game, they had to do it on the defensive end, and they certainly did that as they finished the half on a 7-0 run to pull within 9 down 28-19. We'll take our final Massey Power Sports halftime break, and we'll come back and we'll get you ready for half number 2. George Washington in front of Beckley in this girls' game, 28-19. You are watching live streaming coverage here on Video Productions.
Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 199 Rogers Street, Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken. Literally, the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
The earth beneath my feet is turning like a wheel and beating like a drum.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications or strings or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Video Productions would like to thank one of our live streaming sponsors. That's David and Cindy Chin of Altruist Realty. David and Cindy work around the clock to meet your scheduling needs and help guide you through the process. Also, we'd like to thank Leisure Lanes, one of our video production sponsors. They have a Sweetheart Futuristic Bowling this Saturday, February 11th. There are still lanes available. You can dial up Leisure Lanes 304-253-7328. Eric ready to hit for the second half. Beckley finished the first half on a 7-0 run, and they have the first possession of quarter number 3.
Yeah, and this is a big possession. If you can get this, you can get back into single digits and see how the third quarter plays out.
And here's Abby Dillon with a little floater into the lane, back iron. Josie Cross has the rebound. Here's Creasy dialing up from 3. It's not there, but Burton with the third opportunity and scores. Beckley doing work on the offensive glass and have cut the lead to 7. Beckley's now scored 9 in a row going back into the first half. And Burton with a steal. Beckley's pressure turns them over. Back to Burton. Burton with a wild-looking shot. It was the right play, but I don't think Burton was really set to be able to make that shot. And Thompson with a steal. Beckley 3-on-2, Thompson to the basket, and will draw the foul and get to the line. But as I mentioned, Eric, for Beckley to get back in the game, they had to do it on the defensive end, and their defense has led to the offense. As we watched that last play, that last sequence where Beckley had just they shot it until they made it, and Burton finally did.
And did a great job on the glass, and once again, defense turning into a free throw opportunity by Keontae Thompson. And I love the way she's attacking the rim as she knocks down that first free throw. But that's where I think she's at her best. When she's at her best is when she gets into the open court. She really has a good knack for getting fouls. They waved that one off?
Apparently they did. Apparently there was a lane violation, so the score will be 28-22.
Yeah, I think they called that on the shooter. I think Keontae may have stepped over before
She may have, and boy, that's just a tough mistake. But Beckley applying the pressure, and George Washington throws it away. So Beckley's dialed up pressure, and this is the closest Beckley's been since way back in the first quarter. And Burton's shot is rejected by Z. Zealous. What a nice defensive play.
Yeah, and Zealous with that length. If you're Burton, you're better off giving that good ball fake and trying to get past Z. Zealous on the baseline.
Actually, I said since back in the first quarter, it was the second quarter, Beckley was down 18-12. This is the closest as Beckley has been since then. And here's Creasy with it. Great low post position by Cross, and she missed the shot. You really can't get much deeper than Josie Cross did on that play.
Oh, yeah, and that was a great job, and I think she's just in her head right now. She has to get something to fall, but she'll keep battling.
Smith misses the 3. Back the other way is Beckley trying to cut into that lead. Cross on the drive, puts the shot off the window, in and out, heartbreak. She must think there's a lid on that basket.
Yeah, just a tough break, but you have to stay with it. Is GW getting open looks from 3 still.
As a 3 ball is missed by Frazier, and back the other way is Beckley. And there's a foul on Frazier. She didn't mean to trip Creasy, but she did, and you have to call that.
And that's going to be the second foul on Frazier, and that will be the team's first.
So
Team's second.
It'll be side out for Beckley.
Because Keontae got fouled on a drive.
So Beckley down 6 with a chance to cut into the lead.
And this is their third possession with a chance to cut into the lead. And this is one thing that the snake bit them against Cabell Midland when they had a chance to extend the lead. They were never able to get into that double-digit range to try to put the game away.
So Beckley, they're working it around. Being very patient on this offensive possession. Creasy into the lane, a floater high off the glass, a little too strong. The long rebound comes out, and good hustle by Keontae Thompson.
Oh, nice crossover here.
Down the lane, Thompson finds Burton. Mid-range shot and back iron, not there. And Lowen with the rebound for GW. Lowen attacks the basket and draws the foul, and that's on Burton, I believe. And if it is, that'll be her third.
That'll be her third, and that'll get Beckley into their bench.
So we watch this last take to the basket. Good hard drive by Lowen, but if you're Beckley, you can't give up the layup. Of course, you didn't want Burton to get her third foul, but as I said, Eric, you can't give up the layup as Lowen makes the first free throw.
Yeah, but fouling Lowen sometimes is like giving up the layup, Maris, the way she shoots the basketball.
So with the third foul on Burton, she has to come out of the ball game. Leilani Mans, who gave Coach Brian Neighbors quality minutes in that first half, checks in as Lowen makes both free throws.
Yeah, Leilani Mans was able to score 4 points in the first half.
Creasy for three, leaves it short. Lowen back the other way. On the drive, gets into the lane. Cross with a rejection. Nice defensive play by Josie Cross. Cross going coast to coast, puts up the shot. A little short, but there's Leilani Mans with the rebound, and she'll draw the foul.
Yeah, and that's going to be on Finley Lowen, and that will be, I think, her first.
So Beckley will have the ball up under their own hoop.
Excuse me, her second. That's her second foul this half.
Beckley trailed by 8 at the end of the first quarter. This Mans misses the short shot, and Lowen with it now. Mallory from three, not there. Battle for the rebound, and Leilani Mans able to get it for Beckley. Beckley will reset their offense. Creasy on a drive, and her shot's rejected by Zealous. Zealous, a good athlete, going coast to coast, tacks the rim, doesn't go, but Lowen with a good hustle, and then she lost it off her leg.
And Josie Cross did a good job of not picking up her third foul. She defended that with her arms straight up, and Coach Neighbors dips into the bench and brings in Maya Wooten to try to get some energy into this contest.
So Maya Wooten in, Keontae Thompson out. Coming up on the halfway point of quarter number 3, Beckley down 8. Abby Dillon trying to find a driving lane. They cut her off, and she was able to get bailed out with a foul because it was like on the drive there was nothing there, and GW commits the foul.
If that's going to be on, that's going to be Finley Lowen's third foul, and
all this half.
Yes, and maybe keep attacking her off the dribble, and if you're Beckley.
Here's Abby Dillon trying to do just that. This time Lowen gets the better end of it, blocks it, but it will stay with Beckley as it goes out of bounds off Lowen.
And Lowen does a great job of doing what Josie did on Josie Cross on the last possession, going straight up and defend it, and just a good defensive play.
Yeah, going vertical. Here's Maya Wooten into the lane. Little 10-footer goes for Maya Wooten.
Great job by Maya Wooten getting to the lane and getting a little soft jumper to fall.
The Tasmanian Devil, as she's known to her teammates. Zealous down low. Good double team for Beckley. Around the horn. Here's a 3 ball. It's too strong. Beckley did a good job. They forced the long ball, and Maya Wooten has it. And now, you know, one thing, Eric, I don't know. It looks like they might call a little tighter here in the second half than they did in the first half.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff that they let go. Is you see Maya make that shot, and that's going to be the fourth team foul of the no, it should be the 5th team foul.
Well, they've got 4 team fouls to 1 on Beckley, 4 on GW.
They haven't put up the last foul because it was on 10. It was on Smith.
Yeah, as Keontae Thompson checks back into the Beckley lineup. So Beckley's had a chance to even get even further and cut into the lead as Abby Dillon cannot connect on the 3, but Leilani Mans with the putback. As I mentioned, Leilani Mans has given Coach Brian Neighbors quality minutes here tonight off the bench. Here's Beckley, turns him over. Maya Wooten.
Attack right here.
All the way to the basket, puts up the short shot. It won't go. And George Washington comes out of there with it. Thompson with the steal.
You have to understand the situation here if you're Thompson.
And you don't need that behind the back pass. And, even though Keontae Thompson's like, my bad, to me, if you're that would probably drive you crazy when you're in a break like that and you throw the ball behind your back.
I think she should take that to the hole, and I think that's what they'll talk to her about because that was an unnecessary and unforced error.
So it'll be a 1-minute break. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Welcome to Allstate. You already paid for car insurance. Why not take your home along for the ride? Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Call a local agent or 1-800-ALLSTATE for a quote today.
Every year, the big banks raise their fees while reducing the services they provide. How do they get away with that? If you were to join Pioneer Community Bank, your money would stay right here, supporting a local business, which results in lower fees and better customer service for you. Sounds like a plan. So you're not really stuck with the big banks and their policies. Keep your money where it belongs, right here with Pioneer Community Bank. Pioneer Community Bank with locations in Beckley, Yeager, Sophia, Moore, and Welch. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to George Washington out of the timeout. Beckley has trimmed the lead to 4, but a costly turnover there. But, Eric, mistakes happen through the course of the game, and you just got to play through it and move on. But Beckley, as I mentioned, to get him back in the game is on the defensive end of the floor, as here's a 3, and that is short. That is put up that time by Mallory, and here's comes Wooten, Maya Wooten. Thompson on the drive to the basket, and she left it a little short. Battle for the rebound, and GW comes out of there with it. Lowen. She loses it. Nice defensive play by Thompson, and she turns him over. Good hustle by Keontae Thompson.
Both teams are getting at it right now. This is a, intense basketball game.
Thompson from 15 to the right elbow. It's short. Battle for the rebound, and it's going to be saved. Good hustle. Cross into the lane. Josie Cross can't get it to go. Leilani Mans with another putback.
Leilani picks up her 8th point, and all of them have been of the offensive rebound variety. She's doing a great job on the boards.
The closest Beckley's been since it was 5-3 way back in the first quarter.
And they've done it by playing great defense and not turning the ball over as much.
Right. And here's Maya Wooten with a steal.
Go at her.
Beckley with a chance to tie or take their first lead. The game was tied at 3, but Beckley has never led in this game. Thompson on the drive, fake to the rim, lay it up and in. We're all tied up. Beckley was down 28-12 at one point in this game. And now there's a foul on Josie Cross.
And that's one of those where Josie just a little too aggressive. And that's her 3rd. But she's a cerebral player, and she will probably make up for it, but you don't want it that far away.
That is a 18-2 run going back to the second quarter.
Wow.
And Beckley with coming up on a minute remaining in the third quarter. Beckley's never led in this game. It was tied at 3, now tied at 30.
And I'm going to just say it. And I think the difference right now has been Maya Wooten being inserted in the lineup.
Smith for 3, and GW shot. Regains the lead.
Big shot by Smith, her second 3 of the game as they extend the lead to 3.
That's their 7th 3 ball. Here's Thompson down the lane, tacks the rim, lays it up and in. Keontae Thompson with a nice move. Ball's loose. They're making GW really work on the offensive end. Here's a 3 from the corner. That's too strong. Wooten with the rebound. Beckley with a chance to grab their first lead of the game. Wooten got bumped and fouled, and that will be the 16th foul. While Beckley's only committed 2, and Eric, now what is a tight game, that can be very big because every foul moving forward, Beckley's at the line.
And if you're Beckley, you have to keep attacking. Even if you get your shot blocked in the paint, you still have to attack the rim.
But Beckley has gotten back into this game by their play, as you mentioned, Eric, not turning the ball over as much, but on the defensive end of the floor, as I mentioned, to get back in it, they had to play better defense, and they've really done that. Abby Dillon on the drive. Beckley trying to get its first lead. Last shot time of the third. Creasy for three. Banks it in! The bank is open, and Creasy dials it up. And Beckley has its first lead of the game, and that's how the third quarter will end. At the end of three, it's Beckley 35, George Washington 33. We're going to have an exciting fourth quarter, and it's on the other side of the break as we're streaming it live here on Video Productions.
Unlock the money already in your home at City National Bank. Consolidate loans or fund your next big project with a home equity line of credit with a great low intro rate. Visit your local branch to get started. City National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at homeequity.bankatcity.com.
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment champion mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Welcome back to George Washington High School. And Eric, how about the end of that third quarter? A bank shot by Creasy that gives Beckley their first lead of the game. And Beckley was down as many as 28-12 in the second quarter. And Beckley has rallied all the way back to take a 2-point lead as we start quarter number 4.
Yeah, and that quarter, as bad as Beckley turned over the ball in the first half, GW was not taking care of the basketball and allowing Beckley to get back in this game.
Zealous with the post play to start the fourth quarter, puts up the shot. It doesn't go, but she draws the foul.
I don't know who they whistled that on. It may have been on Mans, but yep, it's going to be on Leilani Mans. That'll be her first. Team's third. As Zealous, 2 of 3 from the line on the night.
And the first free throw is good. She gets GW within 1. And she can tie it if she can knock this one down. And, Eric, this is the type of game we thought it was going to be, a very tight game, which it is, as we're 10 seconds into the fourth quarter and we're tied.
Yeah, now it's all about whoever takes care of the basketball.
And that's a great defensive play as Mans has her shot rejected.
Right there, Mans has to do a ball fake.
With a chance to regain the lead. Smith for 3, doesn't go. And the rebound is Abby Dillon. Dillon on the move, will spot up. 3, kaboom! A splash down.
No, they call that a 2. Her feet
They'll call it a 2. It is a 2. I beg your pardon. And Beckley regains the lead by 2. Appreciate you picking me up, partner.
Ooh, may have got away with a travel right there.
Here's Frazier with it. Around the horn they go. But Beckley's gotten back into this game of the way they played on the defensive end of the floor. And here's a matchup that's tough for any Beckley girl, as this time the shot's missed by Zealous, and Beckley on the run out. Dillon, left of the lane, a little floater, back iron, no good. And Lowen comes out of there with the rebound.
Right there at that angle is still a lost start. I'd like to see Abby use the backboard, use the glass right there.
Got a Beckley foul. They're going to get Creasy with the foul. But the foul situation, Eric, is the next GW foul, as we watch that shot by Abby Dillon, and you're right, she was a 2, not a 3. But the next GW foul will put Beckley at the line for the remainder of the game as Burton and Cross back in, and Maya Wooten and Mans have a seat. Beckley's only committed 4 team fouls. So Lowen will inbound on the baseline. GW can tie with a 2 or regain the lead with a 3.
And if you're Burton, you don't want to pick up a foul 25 feet from the bucket. Just play good defense.
And as soon as you said that, Eric, that's exactly what she did, and that's foul number 4. And you got to play good defense. But Burton's like me, but it was clearly a foul.
Well, I think they're going to argue that both players were going for the basketball. Well,
no, that's a foul, I think. But it doesn't matter really what I think or anybody thinks. The ones that count and blow the whistle, and they call a foul.
Right, but if you can see if Coach Neighbors watches this film, you could call it either way because Burton actually had a bead on the pass, and then it's contact that they let go on in the first half.
So Burton will come out of the game, and Wooten will check back in with so Burton have to go out with 4 fouls. It looked like they threw it maybe across the midcourt stripe. As they get the ball inside Zealous, and now another Beckley foul.
That's going to be on Josie, and that's Josie Cross, and that's her 4th.
So Cross has 4, Burton has 4. Each team now has 16
just
fouls.
Like that, the fouls always even out.
Yeah. But, Beckley is doubling and tripling teaming Zealous in the low post. She gets it down low and scores.
And Josie was lucky not to pick up her 5th on that one.
So we're all even. As Thompson drives to the basket, leaves it short, but she draws a foul and will get to the line.
And that's Z Zealous's 3rd foul. After picking up 2 in the first quarter, she's been able to play foul-free until the 6-minute mark, and that's a testament to Coach LeMaster taking her out, though, when she picked up those 2 early. So she set out the remainder of the first quarter. And
so Keontae Thompson, Beckley regains the lead. And the one thing, as you mentioned, Eric, there were a lot of things that they let slide in the first half that they have blown the whistle on here in the second half. But they've been consistent. But players thought, well, I got away with that in the first half. I ought to be able to get away with it in the second half as Thompson drains them both, and Beckley regains the lead.
As you were talking with me, there was a coach's warning to the Beckley bench just now. And so the next time they say something, they're going to get rang up.
There's a 3-ball by Macy Mallory, and George Washington's back in front. Here's Maya Wooten on the drive into the lane. They cut her off. Cross will back up and shoot the shot. And Maya Wooten, great hustle to keep the possession alive. Boy, Maya Wooten, she's the Tasmanian Devil +2. Cross reverse layup. Perhaps the hardest shot she's taken is the one that goes down for her.
You know what? It's not how many you make them. It's when you make them. It's the push-off is not called. The Beckley bench wanted it, and wide open 3 for GW again.
And Zealous with the offensive rebound and the putback. Back and forth we go. GW back in front by 1. Both teams over the limit now, so every foul by one team puts the other to the line as Josie Cross hits back-to-back hoops, a 15-footer. Beckley regains the lead. What a great game we got here. Glad you're with us streaming here on Video Productions. It's nervous time here at George Washington. 3-ball from the far corner. Good again.
That's her 5th
Macy Mallory.
3 of the game. This game is heating up.
George Washington has made, 9 threes in this game?
Yes.
Wooten on the drive. Attacks the basket. They cut her off. A classic battle with 2 great teams, as you would expect. A lot of talent on the floor. And Abby Dillon may have dribbled it on the out of bounds, and she did. So Leilani Mann's back into the Beckley lineup. Maya Wooten, who gave Coach Neighbors some quality minutes off the bench, will have a seat.
Yeah, I mean, 9 3-pointers in the contest for George Washington as turnover.
And GW throws it away. The referees look at each other to see, and it looked like a turnover, and it is a turnover. So Beckley with a chance to tie or regain the lead coming up on the halfway point of quarter number 4. What has been a very exciting, entertaining basketball game. Thompson for the lead. Too strong. And George Washington Smith comes out of there with the rebound. Lowen from 3. Got it. A splashdown. A 3-ball, and Beckley wants a timeout. Timeout on the floor. Let's see if we got a 30 or a 60. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them and be right back streaming here on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 2723 Old Bluefield Road in Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
Back to George Washington High School with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. Sydney Mayo producing and directing what's been an outstanding game. And Eric, George Washington has made their last 2 threes, which gives them 10 3-point shots made here tonight. So 30 of their 48 points have been long balls.
And that's what has been the snake bite that has been beating Beckley the last couple of games. If they go on to lose this game, they've given up a lot of threes, or came into games where teams have really shot lights out.
So we got an offensive foul in Beckley. I think they'll call it on Josie Cross, a legal pick.
And that'll be her 5th, and this is a made 3-pointer as well.
So Josie Cross has fouled out of the ball game. And there's plenty of time left with 3:26 left in regulation, Eric, and just down only by 5. That's a big play in the ball game.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to really see what it was, but that's tough.
It's real tough. But now Beckley's going to have to go without Josie Cross, as here's a 3 ball from the far side. It's not there. Battle for the rebound. It's Burton with it, and they're going to say that George Washington was out of bounds, and it'll be Beckley's ball, but Burton had the ball anyway. So here's Beckley now, down 5, coming up on the 3-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Creasy into the lane, puts up the short shot, doesn't go, gets her own rebound. Abby Dillon on the drive, a little floater, that won't go, and it's out of bounds. It should stay with Beckley, and it does.
Yeah, and just now Beckley is starting to get down to where you have to make some shots. 2:49 to go. On this possession, you really, really need to get something in the hoop.
Yeah, and then you got to play good defense because both teams now over the limit. So here's Thompson on the drive to the basket. Puts it up. It won't go. Frazier clears the rebound for George Washington. Zealous in the paint. Over to Lowen. That's not going to go. And the rebounds to Beckley. I'm surprised GW took that quick a shot. Here's Burton. Drive to the basket. Leilani Mans with the putback. It won't go, but she draws the foul. Leilani Mans has been really good off the bench for Beckley here tonight.
Yeah, and that's going to be the 4th foul on Zealous. So if you're Mans, though, you've been kind of hot and cold at the free throw line, and none two are bigger than these right now to really cut into this lead.
That's right, and a chance to cut into the lead with the clock stop. So Leilani Mann's first free throw is not good.
Yep.
She'll have another one coming.
You'll definitely need to make this one so you can get into that full court pressure.
Second free throw, the back end of the 2-shot opportunity by Mans, and she missed them both. And Lowen gets the rebound. I don't think you want to think about fouling now, but at some point you're going to have to, and you can't let Lowen do that. Go all the way to the basket and lay it up and in if you're Beckley. So it's an 8-0 run right now for George Washington to take a 7-point lead and a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here, and while we've got 30 seconds, we'll tell you about the fine folks of Affinity Coal. Infinity Coal, located in Sophia, West Virginia, is currently operating an underground coal mine with on-site preparation plant in Sophia and a new surface mine in Waco, West Virginia. So if you're tired of your current job and looking for another place of employment in the coal mining industry, you can go to Facebook under United Coal Company and see what's available and see what's happening with the good folks from United Coal. Well, Eric, down 7 with 2:01 left in the game. And as you stated on the possession before, how big it was that Beckley scored down 5. It's even bigger now that you're down 7.
Yeah, and the thing you have to say in this timeout, you don't need a 3. But without Josie Cross on the floor, you're going to have to figure out some spacing, and you don't want to drive it to the rim. You want to pull, get you a nice 5 to 8 footer and make Z Zealous come towards you so you have opportunity to try to rebound and miss.
Maya Wooten has checked into the Beckley lineup out of that timeout. So Beckley going small with Wooten, Thompson, Dillon increasing. Thompson, just what you said, into the lane, but she missed the shot. They fight for the rebound, and Thompson able to get the loose ball. Here's Abby Dillon. 13-footer left of the lane. Abby Dillon connects.
That's what you have to do right there if you're Beckley. You have to draw Zealous away from the rim.
Now you might want to try to get a steal. If not get a steal, you may want to think about fouling. As Lowen drives all the way to the basket, puts up a wild shot, no good. Zealous puts up 2 more shots and doesn't get it to go. Big possession here. They haven't put there. Now they put
45.
the
yes,
45. They were slow with putting the points up. Big possession for Beckley.
You have to go now.
Down 5, approaching a minute left in the game. Thompson does attack, puts up the short shot and scores. 1 possession game, under a minute. GW having a hard time getting it
5.
in, and that should be 5 seconds. And did they get the timeout? Apparently they called a timeout. Or what have they called? I'm still waiting.
Well, they called a timeout, but they're saying that the clock was still running after the timeout.
Yeah, so there's a discussion. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here, and we'll tell you about the fine folks at Indoor Air. Indoor Air is a proud sponsor of Raleigh County Sports. For all your heating and cooling needs, you can dial up the good folks at Indoor Air at 304-890-2212. Indoor Air, you're a man, a dealer. So there is discussion at the scores table.
I think they're going to put time back on.
And I think you're right, Eric, because
it was 52, maybe like 52 seconds when he called the timeout.
So out of the timeout, George Washington will have it. And once you get to the 4 count, you're not supposed to be granted the timeout. And Lowen had the ball for a long time before she was able to get it in. So you're right on it. Back to 52 seconds.
Hey, that was if it wasn't 5 seconds, it was so close.
Well, really, if once you get to 4, you can't call the timeout. Beckley applying the pressure. They get it in. Beckley's got to think about maybe a quick foul here if they don't get the steal. And they get the steal. They don't need a 3. Creasy races down the floor to Wooten, a layup, and she's fouled with 40 seconds to go. And if you're George Washington, that's the smart play. You're not going to let Wooten have the free throw. Have the layup. You're going to foul her and send her to the line.
Yeah, but the thing you have to say about Maya Wooten, and I'm just going to keep singing her praises, Maris. She brings a lot of the it, and what it is energy as she misses the shot, but she brings a lot of stuff you can't teach. She hustles. She gets all the 50-50 balls. And right here, if she's able to make this and turn it into, where they can get into their full court pressure, this will be big.
So she does make 1 of 2 and gets Beckley within 2. And same strategy will apply. If you don't get a steal, you have to foul, but you don't have to foul right away now. Lowen dribbling the ball out front. Lowen's probably not the one you want to foul, and now Abby Dillon commits the foul and fouls Macy Mallory, who's had the hot hand from behind the 3-point line here tonight.
And this is going to be 1-1, and this is one of the young ladies we had the pleasure to see as we came into the gym early, shooting from the free throw line, and she's a very good shot.
Eric, I don't understand why Abby Dillon didn't get up on the line, because she was to miss it, and the ball got past Thompson. GW could get the rebound. It's a 1-1. The first one is good. So this is a big one to try to make it a 2-possession game. Mallory's played really big tonight for George Washington.
This is her only points other than shooting threes.
So here's Beckley, down 3. 27 seconds for the game. Creasy with it.
You need to go now. I mean, you don't need to settle for a 3.
Here's Dillon. With the weights running down, a 3 for the tie, short. Battle for the loose ball, and the possession arrow is in Beckley's favor. So Beckley's going to get one more opportunity, but if you're George Washington, you might foul, not give Beckley an opportunity to shoot a 3, as Beckley's going to call a timeout to draw up one final play here and a chance to perhaps tie the game or maybe even win it with a 3 and 1.
Yeah, just slightly out of Creasy's range, but I'm going to tell you, everybody in the building thinks Abby Dillon's going to get something, and I think I would run her as a decoy, and I would have Thompson or Creasy trying to spot up for an open look.
We'll keep it here as here's the situation. It's a 3-point lead for George Washington, as you can see, 8.6 seconds left. Both teams are over the limit in fouls. So here's the thing, Eric. If George Washington would elect to foul as opposed to give Beckley a 3-point opportunity, it would be the 10th team foul, which means Beckley would automatically get 2 shots.
Yes,
so I think that changes George Washington's strategy, not the foul.
Exactly, and I didn't see the foul situation. It is the double bonus if Beckley gets fouled. So, but if you're Beckley, you could maybe go for a quick 2 and foul instantly off the inbound.
Or get a steal. So
yes.
I'm with you. I think if you're going to inbound the ball, it looks like Beckley will under their own basket. If you can get someone to catch and score quickly, I would do that. Other than that, I'm with you. I would set a screen and try to get, obviously, one of my shooters
because
an
what
open
GW
look.
is going to do, they're going to defend the 3-point line.
Right.
So get you a quick 2 and foul like right now.
So let's see what
and
Beckley.
You don't pick and choose who you foul. You just, you just saw Macy Mallory, who has 5 3-pointers on the night, miss a free throw. So
Creasy will inbound. They're looking for Abby Dillon. They get it to Dillon. She's got a good look for the tie on its way. It's short. Burton with an offensive rebound, and now Beckley's going to have to foul, and they do with 1.4. But the one thing about it, Abby Dillon had a good look, and that was a well-designed play, and she just left it a little short.
Yeah, they ran her off of a couple staggered screens, and my hat's off still to the young lady because it takes guts to take that last shot. And, I think 9 times out of 10 she thinks she's going to knock it down. And I use that phrase a lot, but when you deal with shooters, they're going to shoot. And GW does a good thing here, putting people down to rebound.
Well, yeah. So game isn't over yet, but if she makes 1, then the game is over as that is made, and that should seal the deal for George Washington. But here's the thing, and I will say this, and I know this is not going to make Beckley coaches, players, and fans any better, but they didn't turn over. At least they got a look, and a quality look, to tie the game. As Lowen makes both free throws, and that'll seal the deal. George Washington will win this game as Thompson lets it go, and that's the ball game. They've got 52. It actually should be 53.
They just put
and
it
now
up.
they put it up there. So your final score, George Washington has beaten Beckley here tonight, and they revenged the loss by 5 points, which Beckley beat them by 5 in Beckley, 59-54. George Washington wins this by 5, 53-48. So George Washington is now 12-5. GW is now won 7 of 9, and Beckley's now lost 2 in a row, and they are 10-8. We'll be back in a minute, and we'll get you to the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show after this 1-minute break, streaming here on Video Productions.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Hi, I'm Bo.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the guys to call for windows, siding, and doors.
You know why?
Sure I do. Because of Window World of Beckley, we install energy-efficient windows, siding, and doors to homeowners all throughout southern West Virginia.
We'll give you our promise. Superior products, professionally installed at a guaranteed low price.
We make financing easy with our no interest for 18 months.
Don't wait. There's no better time like the present.
Call us at 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW.
Hello, my name is Skylar with United Cycle Summersville and Beckley, which is located right across the street from Hobby Lobby. We just want to let you know we have some cashback rebates, some up to $2,000 for our side-by-sides that go all the way through the end of March. Those are for Polaris, Kawasaki, Honda, and Suzuki. Please give us a call at 304-252-9775, and for the Summersville location, 304-872-6626.
And we welcome you back to George Washington High School, where this was an exciting girls basketball game, and George Washington has defeated Beckley 53-48. And before we went to the end of that fourth quarter break, I'd mentioned to Eric, it's kind of ironic that when the two teams played in Beckley on January 24th, Beckley won by 5, and then come down here tonight in Charleston, and George Washington now wins by 5. But Beckley got themselves in a hole early in the game. They trailed 18-10. At the end of the first quarter, they got down by as many as 28-12, and they scored the last 7 points of the half to trail only 28-19 at the break. But Beckley took their first lead in that third quarter, and they led by 2, 35-33. At the end of 3, they went back and forth, but coming down the stretch, George Washington made a couple more plays than Beckley, and George Washington gets the win by the score 53-48. George Washington is now 12-5. They've now won 7 of their last 9. Beckley's now dropped 2 in a row, and they'll go to 10-8. We'll take our first break here in the Pioneer Community Bank post-game show. When we come back, Eric's got some numbers for you, and we'll do that on the other side of the break as you're watching streaming coverage of girls high school basketball here on Video Productions.
Every year, the big banks raise their fees while reducing the services they provide. How do they get away with that? If you were to join Pioneer Community Bank, your money would stay right here, supporting a local business, which results in lower fees and better customer service for you. Sounds like a plan. So you're not really stuck with the big banks and their policies. Keep your money where it belongs, right here with Pioneer Community Bank. Pioneer Community Bank with locations in Beckley, Yeager, Sophia, Moore, and Welch. Member FDIC.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
My name is Hank, and I'm coming clean. Everyone I know thinks I know something about plumbing. Oh, I look the part. I talk the talk. I have all the tools, snake, pipe wrenches, torches, but I can't fix anything. I can't even flush a toilet. What they don't know is I've been calling Modley's Plumbing and Heating. They're fully licensed and insured. I just simply call 304-253-HELP, and here they come down the road to fix the problem. It just feels so good to get rid of the guilt.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Here at the Cracker Barrel, home-style food and great value go hand in hand, with favorites like slow-simmered chicken and dumplings starting at $7.99. Or perfectly golden fluffy buttermilk pancakes with your own bottle of warm syrup. Come fill up on favorites without emptying your wallet. Cracker Barrel. Take care now.
Welcome back to George Washington High School. Final score in this girls' basketball game, George Washington beats Beckley 53-48. And Eric, you have the numbers of this thrilling George Washington victory.
Yeah, George Washington did it with some good scoring balance tonight. They had Finley Lowen led the way with 16, and she was matched by her backcourt counterpart, Macy Mallory, who only scored 3 points in the previous contest against Beckley. She had 16 points, all on three-pointers. Well, she made 5 3-pointers and 1 free throw. So great production. As a team, they made 10 3-pointers, and that's 30 points of the 53, and they were able to shoot 75% from the free throw line as they made 9 out of 12 attempts. Beckley was only shot 50% from the free throw line, which wound up being the difference in the game. They were 6 for 12 from the free throw line. They were led in scoring by Creasy with 11, Latasia Creasy. Keontae Thompson had 11. Abby Dillon had 9. And the biggest story of the game to me was Josie Cross getting into foul trouble a little bit early and never really getting on her game. But neither team should to hang their heads. I mean, GW won, but Beckley played a tough contest in a tough environment.
Right, and, it only comes down to a play here or there, and that was the difference in the first game, which went Beckley's way, and that was the difference tonight. And we talked about it way back in our pregame show. Teams with two different personalities, one at home, one on the road. And I think the biggest X factor was Mallory tonight for George Washington. As you said, she only made one basket, a 1 3-pointer in Beckley, and tonight she came up big and she had 16. And the fact that George Washington was able to get 30 points of the 53 that they scored from behind the arc, that was huge.
Yeah, that was huge. And anytime you're making threes at that rate, and we said they were cool off in the second half, and they did, but they made 3 of their 4 second-half three-pointers late in the fourth quarter. And to able to pull away, extend the lead. So each shot was a big shot.
That's such a great point, Eric, because Beckley had a 1-point lead, and they made back-to-back threes to take to a 5-point lead.
Just like that, 2 possessions.
Yes.
So they did cool off, but they were able to make them when they most needed them.
Yep, so George Washington gets the win, and we're going to take one more break here in the Pioneer Community Bank postgame show. We'll wrap this one up. Once again, final score, George Washington beats Beckley 53-48. George Washington now 12-5. Beckley is now 10-8. We'll be right back with one more break after this here on Video Production.
Every year, the big banks raise their fees while reducing the services they provide. How do they get away with that? If you were to join Pioneer Community Bank, your money would stay right here, supporting a local business, which results in lower fees and better customer service for you. Sounds like a plan. So you're not really stuck with the big banks and their policies. Keep your money where it belongs, right here with Pioneer Community Bank. Pioneer Community Bank with locations in Beckley, Yeager, Sophia, Moore, and Welch. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Rania. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken tortilla soup is when I take a bite, I just taste flavor, flavor, flavor. The veggies and beans and tortilla strips, they're combined to perfection.
Hi, my name is Janae, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken tortilla soup is it makes me feel warm inside. This is what cozy feels like. This is what bundling up in a blanket next to a fireplace with people you love feels like.
Welcome to Allstate. You already paid for car insurance. Why not take your home along for the ride? Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Call a local agent or 1-800-ALLSTATE for a quote today.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Sandwiches, better with Pepsi.
Yeah, Beckley beat East, and East came down here and lost.
And we welcome you back to George Washington one final time. Once again, final score, George Washington in a very exciting game beats Beckley 53-48. GW is 12-5. Beckley is 10-8. GW has now won 7 of 9. Beckley has lost their second straight. Eric, you and I will see Beckley again on Thursday night, their final home game against Bluefield. But your overall take on the game tonight?
Tonight was, like we said, I thought it was going to be a game played at a high level, and it was. Both teams went on runs. Beckley went on that 18-2 run, Maris, to get back in the game. And really, every time they took the lead, Beckley late, GW was able to answer the bell and answered it big back-to-back threes to really extend the lead and pull away for the victory.
We want to thank the entire crew here at George Washington High School for helping us with the streaming, and we want to thank Mr. Butch Mounts and Robbie Mounts doing their part behind the scenes, and also Sydney Mayo doing an excellent job producing and directing. For my partner, Eric Thomas, I'm Maris Lowry, repeating the final score in this girls' basketball game. George Washington beats Beckley 53-48. Good night, everybody.